Oh my, the Vancouver Canucks are very, very hurt. The hockey gods must hate us because the injuries are coming back for the Vancouver Canucks, and it definitely affected them this week in the CanucksLand. How's it going, guys? I'm CanucksLand. Today we're going to be breaking down all the games from this past week, and that does not include the Edmonton Oilers game, which I am recording this very late, and I do have to get this up as quickly as possible so I can go to bed because the Oilers game just finished, and I completely forgot to do it today. So I also went to go see the Chainsaw Man, the Reze Arc movie. Such a good movie, by the way. If you're thinking about it, you're a fan of Chainsaw Man, go check it out. If you want to go watch the show before, definitely do. It's a very good show. It is an anime, but it's such a good show. But let's get into the hockey. We're here to talk hockey. We're not here to talk Chainsaw Man. Let's hop right in with the game against the Washington Capitals, where they would open up the scoring with Elias Pettersson getting one from Connor Garland as he would put it off the boards. And yes, there is no highlights. I apologize. I recorded this video way too late. I should have recorded it before I went to the movie, so there will not be any highlights. I got to get this done because I got to get up for work tomorrow. But then Tyler Myers would get one, and I apologize. I forget how it goes. It's literally been a week since this game was played. But Tyler Myers would score. Oh, no, it was like a big battle in front. Tyler Myers would pick it up and put it in. And then Kiefer Sherwood on the power play as he would skate to the back of the net, and Connor Garland, I think, would put a rebound in front. Sherwood would pick it up. And then Teddy Bluger would get one, but this would be the last we see of Teddy Bluger, as him, Hedel, and Leckermacky all went down with injuries this game. But Teddy Bluger would pick one up with a nice kick pass by Evander Kane. Ryan Leonard would get one on the power play, and then Chychrun and Carlson would get one late, not really late, halfway through for Chychrun, later for Carlson. But the Vancouver Canucks would hold on to pick up a 4-3 win against the Washington Capitals in a great game. Like, honestly, the first half of that game was great, and I understand a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that back half of that game was not great at all. There was a lot of injuries, so that is the reason the back half of that game did not look so good. But I enjoyed what I saw from the Vancouver Canucks. That's the last I would enjoy, as the injuries would hit, as Connor Garland would pick up an early goal off a pass from Elias Pettersson, and they would take a 1-0 lead. But then Connor Dewar would pick one up. Tommy Novak would pick one up on the power play as he just walks in. Sidney Crosby would get one. Anthony Mantha would get one, and Brazeau would get one. And the Vancouver Canucks would fall 5-1 to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Apologies, I'm kind of going through these games a little quick. With the Washington game, I will say, so yeah, the first half of that Washington game was great. The second half wasn't as good. The injuries caught up with us, but the Vancouver Canucks played a great game. This Pittsburgh game, I mean, I thought they didn't play too bad, but it was just like, this game was not great. And, like, I didn't think their play was too bad. Their work ethic was too bad. It's just that, like, man, they just got, I don't know, they got outplayed. They kind of did get outplayed by the Pittsburgh Penguins. It was just not a great game. I did end up taking a little break from it. My emotions were boiling over, and so I just decided, you know what, let's stop for now, and we will watch the rest of this game later. And they would lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that's a game that you wanted them to win to make them go 4-0 on the road trip, but they wouldn't get it. They're still 3-1 on the road trip, but that wouldn't last long as we move over to the Nashville Predators, as they would let one in shorthanded in the second period from Ryan O'Reilly as he would skate in and score, and the Nashville Predators would take a 1-0 lead. Max Sasson would tie the game as Linus Karlsson would send one like almost cross ice. Max Sasson would make a great play on the boards, skate in, and I think he put it 5-hole to tie the game. But then Cole Smith would get one, and the Nashville Predators would take a win against us, and the Vancouver Canucks will go a positive 3-2. So positive to take out of that 3-2 road trip. It made us 4-4, but those two games that we lost at the end, although injury riddled, we should have had one of those. Like, we just needed to get one of those games because we would have been 4-1, we would have been 5-3, we would have came at home in a better spot, but we're not able to. We just weren't able to, and then we would go home to face the Montreal Canadiens. I apologize, I'm going through this so quick. Yet again, I have to get this done. It's a very rushed video. All my fault. Elias Pettersson would pick one up immediately with a great backhand pass, even though I was yelling, shoot, as he would make a great backhand pass over to Phil Peronic. He would get it across, and Pettersson would put it in for his second of the year, his first point of the night. And then Jake DeBrusk would get one on the power play as Pedersen would pick up his second point as he would give it to Quinn Hughes. And then Quinn Hughes would fire it, Jake DeBrusk would tip it, and they would take a 2-0 lead. But that's where the fun would end, as Nick Suzuki would pick one up on the power play as Demidov would make a great play. Instead of shooting it, sending it over, and Nick Suzuki would put it in. And then another one as Slavkovsky would put it on goal. Demidov would make a great play Hudson would get it on goal. Demidov would make a great play, and then Slavkovsky would put it in. Mike Matheson would get one from the blue line as he would just fire it, and Kevin Lankinen wouldn't get it. And then Demidov has a nice shot. Oh my God, his 1T is wicked. What a nice shot by Demidov. He's having a good start to the year as he's got 8 points already. Connor Garland would get one as Elias Pettersson would put it into the slot area and Garland would tip it home. And then he would put it past Dobesh, and the Vancouver Canucks would lose 4-3 after blowing a 2-0 lead. We had a new player in that game, though. That was Lucas Reichel, who the Vancouver Canucks traded for. They traded Lucas Reichel they traded a 4th-round pick that they originally got in the Ilya Mikheyev trade for Lucas Reichel, and he didn't look too bad in the first game, and I will give a little bit of a advance there, but he did not look too bad in the game against Edmonton either. That's the only really there's a lot of news. So Philip Hedl suffered a big hit from Tom Wilson. Tom Wilson knew what he was doing, but he did suffer a big hit from Tom Wilson, and he was eventually taken out of the game. And yeah, that wasn't great to see. It was not fun, and I wish Hedl all the best in his recovery. Lekkerimäki would get another injury, and then Bluger would get another injury. So that's what forced the Reichel trade. He's a bit of a Band-Aid patch trade. Just acquire him. Hopefully he plays good. Hopefully he's able to just, provide something. And I thought that he's been pretty good these last 2 games. Remember, if you don't notice a guy, you didn't notice him doing anything bad. Just because you didn't notice him doing anything good. Or just cause if you didn't notice him entirely and you didn't notice him doing anything good, doesn't mean you didn't notice him doing anything bad. So that's what I kind of thought about Reichel these last 2 games. I also thought Reichel had a better game here against Edmonton, but I'm jumping in advance here. But yeah, that's it for the news. Let's hop into the 3 stars of the week. The 3rd star of the week is Quinn Hughes, who had 3 assists, and although he's not playing, I think the best hockey that he has played this season, he looks great. He still looks good. He's picking up points while he's at it. He's 2nd in the team in points. Last that I remember, I think Elias Pettersson has passed him actually tonight, but according to before this Oilers game, he was 2nd in the team with points. He was having a good week. The 2nd star of the week is Connor Garland, who had a goal and 3 assists, and he looked just as good as he's been all year. He's leading the team in points, and Connor Garland's already off to a good start. He had another good week. Great stuff from Connor Garland as always. 1st star of the week is the guy who's been holding it down. Ever since these centers got hurt, he had a 3-point game to end the week. He also had a goal and an assist prior, giving him 5 points on the week. 2 goals, 5 assists. No, 2 goals, 3 assists. I don't know what I was talking about. 2 goals, 3 assists. Elias Pettersson, what a week he had. He's just been holding it down defensively, and he's been stepping up offensively like we've hoped that he would. And Elias Pettersson is showing that he could have a bounce back year. Hopefully this pace he sustains the pace. He's been very good. But without further ado, I've been trying to hit 500 subscribers by the end of this upcoming season. If you guys are a Canucks fan and you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I apologize for it being a quick video. I need to do this earlier. I totally could have done it. That's completely on me. But the video on your right is the video from Friday. The video on your left is the video from Wednesday. Subscribe's right down under there. I'll see you guys in the next one.